Hello, my manifestors. Thank you so much for tuning in to Manifest the Greater You. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Jacqueline, and today I wanted to have a conversation about what is holding you back. For those of you that have thought about starting a new project, or maybe you did start, you got your feet wet, you tried it out for maybe a month or two, maybe 3 months or 6 months, and then you gave up because you weren't getting the results that other people were getting and started comparing yourself. So let's talk about that today. What is truly holding you back? I would say a lot of the times it's very easy to let our limiting beliefs really get the best of us, especially when we start comparing ourselves on social media to what others may have or where others may be. And that really puts a damper on where you are in your current journey. You know, we've all got our own path that we're on. And I think it's so easy for us to give up when we aren't seeing the results right away. But if you talk to anybody that has really made an impact in terms of really getting to the end goal ultimately, they have put in a lot of work, and you don't see a lot of that because it looks like it happened overnight, but it didn't. And so one of the areas I wanted to talk about is limiting beliefs. We all have them. A lot of them stem from childhood, and oftentimes it's very easy to, you know, bury those thoughts and put it in a chest, lock it, throw away the key, bury it, and never want to look at it again. But one of the things that I've recently learned, and it's been quite an epiphany for myself, is to acknowledge those things that maybe were harder situations in life, acknowledge that they happened, and forgive that person, or forgive yourself, or acknowledge that, you know, you were a little girl or you were a little guy and you did the best that you could, and you were so strong, and I'm so proud of you. You know, a lot of the times we wish that we had someone that would recognize or acknowledge what we were going through. And I think especially when you're a kid, it's very easy to realize, okay, this isn't happening to everybody else, and I don't know who I can talk to about this, you know, let alone someone my own age. So, you know, whether things happened that may be difficult to deal with when you were younger, or maybe in your adult life, acknowledge that they happened and forgive yourself, forgive others, and that's going to really help you move forward so that you can become the best version of you and really start moving in a direction of where you want to go towards, and not letting those limiting beliefs get in the way. And, you know, another piece is if there's somebody else out there that has maybe made a comment about you, maybe it was a family member or even a close friend, and they said something that, you know, really you took to heart and then started to believe that that was true, you know, try to revisit that and really think about, okay, clearly that's not true because of X, Y, and Z. And a lot of the times when other people are putting negative comments towards us or saying things, it's because of their own insecurities, and that has nothing to do with you. You know, as crappy as that may sound, it really doesn't. It has more to do with them and their own issues, but it's easy for us to then absorb that and take it personally and hold that in our space and make that part of our belief system. And another area that I wanted to talk about is thinking small. You know, when you're starting to recognize that these limiting beliefs are coming up, and you know, it's really putting a halt on you actually moving forward. Ask yourself the question, are you thinking small or are you thinking big? And a lot of the times the answer is, I'm thinking small. So how can you then transition that mindset into thinking big? An example I'll give is, I recently just learned this about myself from someone else that had posted something. Basically, I don't always feel entirely comfortable talking about certain topics if it's not something that I'm truly passionate about. And a lot of the times at work, there are reports that you need to do, presentations, and you know, if I didn't feel comfortable in the environment I was in, I felt very insecure. and I was kind of hesitant to get in front and present, even though I knew it. I had done the research, I'd done the prep work inside and out, but then when I got up there to present or get on a call, it just really didn't come out the way that I wanted it to. And, you know, thankfully I had my job after it every single time. But, you know, to the expectation I had of really doing a killer job, I didn't. And so one thing that I learned about myself is the reason why one of the reasons I start to get nervous or apprehensive, and maybe a sense of anxiety, like having certain conversations or presenting on certain things, is because I don't feel worthy. And I didn't feel worthy. For whatever reason, I think part of it was because of my childhood. For the longest time, I just didn't feel worthy when I was around a bunch of other people that really seemed like they had all of their life together, when clearly I don't know them on that personal level, but that was just my assumption, and that was just a limiting belief, a limiting mindset that I put in my head. And I want to share that because I think there's other people that maybe could start to think about it and say, okay, like maybe that is why I feel a little insecure when I'm, you know, in this type of setting, or, you know, when I have to go and talk about something. A lot of the times we stumble because we don't feel worthy, and that is so far from the truth. We're all here with individual gifts that we can all share with the world. And, you know, I think if we would all do a better part in being supportive of others when someone is brave enough to go and try something new and really try to live out their purpose. You know, life is too short. So I really wanted to share this video because I want more people to hopefully be encouraged, if not inspired, to try something new and not let the fear of not starting deter you from actually getting started. You know, really start to think about what is really getting in your way. And a lot of the times it's you, me. So really start to think about maybe why it is that you're having these limiting beliefs, or why it is that, you know, you've instilled these in your belief system, or even if someone told you something, it's not the truth. You know, don't think small, start to think big, and you'll start to see a much larger transformation. Well, if you have any other tips on how to stop thinking small, please leave a comment down below. And if you'd like to stay up to date for the next episode, go ahead and click the bell down below so that you can get updated. And thanks so much for tuning in to Manifest the Greater You.